Action of business data analytic. So this business data analytic, they want you to get the knowledge of Excel so that you can be able to analyze the fundamental aspect of the big data, or so that you can be able to dig in a large volume of data and do the analysis That is the main objective of this financial business data analytic paper. And the reason why you are doing this paper at last point is that they capture the knowledge, the principles you have covered in financial accounting, the one you have covered in financial management. You can see here talking of the financial management, which include the time value of money, also which include the sensitivity analysis and the scenarios analysis. They also need to know the knowledge of management accounting, where you will be required to do some budgeting. Even the last sitting, they tested the budget, the question of budget. So you will need it. And then also the auditing concept. You need to know some of the auditing concept, which include the financial trends, the test of control, but maybe this one of auditing will be tested in a theory paper. But for practical, remember this BDA, they have two sections. They have the section of theory section and the practical session. So you have to be keen. So you have to read the theory as well as reading the practical. And also you need to apply the knowledge of taxation. Both for advanced taxation and the taxation for the intermediate level. So which means you need to cover all the accounting principles that you have covered through your CPA. And finally, which now it's like a tool we used to answer this question, we are using Excel. So Excel is the main career tool here, which we are going to use. That's why if you look at the introduction, so the first thing is you need to understand how to use the shortcut keys. These shortcut keys, they will ask you in theory when to do this, or if you are using these shortcut keys, we are finding what, and then also you need to know to understand the data tables, the pivot table, and other common function. Also, you need to understand the advanced formulas of Excel. We have a lot of advanced Excel formulas. So let's look at the introduction, which we are going to use our data to see how can we master these shortcut keys in Excel. So let me open where I have this BDA is BDA. I need to just the sampled data so that you can be able to work on it. Which data can I get it? Let's see. Data. Here we don't have data here. Let me cancel that. So these are the shortcut keys which you need to know, like Alt H, Control Alt H. This one to display all the shortcut keys in Excel, and this one is the one which enable us to master all the shortcut keys in Excel. That is Alt H. I will show you how to master with that. And then you have the common, which is Control C. Like if I have the value here, I want to copy this value and paste in F8. That's how to read these Excel cells. That is F8. So I will just put my cursor here, click Control C, and then come here, Control V. So Control V is to paste, and Control C is to copy. And then you have Control Z. This is to undo. So if I click Control Z, I will undo. If I click Control Z, I can also undo, so that I don't have anything here. And then Control S, if you are working on data and then you don't know what will happen in the middle, stima inawezaenda and then you will lose your data, and you can imagine that pain of starting from the scratch. So you normally, once you do one or two data, click Control S. Control S is to save. Instead of going up here, we have an option of saving here in Excel. If you see here, if you see this icon up here, we have an option of saving, but you don't need to be using that one all time. So we just click Control S and it will save. And then Control A is to select all the data. If I want to copy whatever it is in this worksheet, I will just click Control A, and I will select everything. If you don't want to click Control A, then you click at the top of Excel or this worksheet margin just before 1. So when I click up, they will select everything. And then Control F is to find, like I want to find some word here or some numbers. For example, I have 20 here, I have 10, I have 15, I have 16 or 6. I want to find some value here. So I will just select this and then click Control F. And then I will get this find option, which it is combined again with find and replaced questions and replaced formula. So I can say find 6 and I will click OK. I can see that is 6. Also, you can find and replace. We have two options here. You can go to replace. I can find 6 and replace with that 6. I can replace with that 6 and then say replace all. So, okay. So you'll find that I've already replaced my 6 with 36. That's how to use the common. Those are the common. But now, this you cannot be able to cram all the shortcut keys in Excel. We have 1,000. So the best way is to master it, using Alt H. So let me play with this data. I want to play with this data. Control C, go to the new worksheet. Control Alt V. Control Alt V is to give you the special table. That one to give you the special table. So I want to paste values with the data I copied. So I will pick the values and then click OK. So now we have this small data. Now we want to customize this data with the shortcut keys. And the shortcut keys we are going to use is Alt plus H. Alt plus H. This data, I don't have Control X is to cut. Now, this data I don't have, like it is not good. If you want to print this data, it will not look so nice. For example, if you want to print, you click Control B for people. So control that, you can see the kind of data we have. It doesn't have the borders. We don't have the lines. We don't know which one is which. So now we want to customize using this formula. What I will do, You put your cursor in B3, press Control Shift, page right. Control Shift, page right to select the data at the top or the first row. I've said Control Shift, page right. Control Shift, page right. Then I want to select the entire data. Control Shift, page down. Control Shift, page down. So you'll be able to select your data. And then I will click Alt H. Alt H, I will be able to see all the the formatting in Excel. For example, you can see X here is to cut, C is to copy, F is to change the format, and then FS is to change the font number. We have a lot. Percentage, we have B here is for percentage. If you want accounting format or the comma style, you can use K. You can choose K. If you want to put decimal, you use 0 and 9. Another one is to reduce the decimal. Another one is to increase the decimal. Now, I want to put the borders. Borders is B. So I want only to click B in my keyboard. If I click B, I get this option. Now I want to insert all borders. I can see I have an option A. That A is for all borders. So I will click A, and you can see I've inserted my borders with just a click over keyboard. That's how it works. Now, assuming that you know this, then it will not take you less than a minute. Let's repeat Control Z. I will say I put my cursor here, Control Shift right, Control Shift page down, and then Alt H. I click B, I click A. You can see that one will not take you more than a minute, even 10 or 20 seconds, if you know how, if you have mastered it. So you have to be using this thing every day so that it async. Now, we have done with inserting borders. Another challenge is we are not able to view all the data. For example, the invoice number here, we are not able to see the full invoice number. We are not able to see the full name of the supplier, even though we can't be able to see the full amount, but we are not able to see the other data. So instead of using the long method, which I know you know, which you put the cursor here and then you drag it the wide margin so that you can be able to see this one, assuming you have the data from A to Z. It will take you the whole day pushing this that way. So it will be a quite hard work. So what we do, we will use the shortcut keys and make sure that we rearrange the column with the same. Do we write with with the same margin, with the same margin. So what I do, I put my cursor here, Control Shift page right, Control Shift page down, Alt H. O is for formatting. O, if you see here O, that is for formatting. So I click O, and then I will get the all option for formatting. So I need the column width.
I didn't see where O was.
Let me repeat. Alt H. You see there is O here.
Yes, I can see it now.
Yes. So O is for format. You just click O in your keyboard. You will get all the option for formatting. So we need to format our column width. So this is our column width. So it is stamped by W. So you just click W in your keyboard and you will get this small box. So now you can decide to increase the column width either by 20. 20 will be okay. Let's try it with 20. Click enter. You can see 20, you will be able to view even though we are not able to view the full name. So we can maybe put 23 or 21, Alt H or W, and then to put 23, enter. So you can see ukisha master unafanya tu haraka haraka, you don't stress yourself. Alt H or W, put 25. So 25 at least I can be able to see that. If you don't want to increase the entire data, maybe you can select this one and increase so that you can be able to see Alt H or W. Let's put 28 and you can be able to see for that. So maybe you want to increase a certain area, especially when it comes to the amount. We don't need a big column width for the amount. Maybe this one we can reduce this one to 18, Alt H or W, and then to put 18. So 18 also is bado iko kubwa, Alt H or W, 15. Yes, so 15 is good. So, and then now in accounting, decimals and the thousand separator is key, because you cannot be able to read this value. We don't know if it is 210 or 210,000. We don't know how to read this one. So in accounting, decimals and thousand separator is the key. So what we can do, we can put the cursor there, or select that, put the cursor, Control Shift page right, Control Shift page down, and then Alt H. We need 1,000 separator. So put right K. If you write K here, you'll be able to see the format of accounting format. K, click K, and you can see. But now we have 2 decimal place, which is okay. If you want to reduce the decimal, then you use 0 and 9. So let's try Alt H, and then these arrows, that one is increasing decimal, and then this one is reducing decimal. So we click 9. So if you click 9, I will reduce to 1 decimal place. I will reduce to 1 decimal place. We have so many options of playing with Alt H. So we can not even exhaust this one. So we have so many. That is one way of mastering the shortcut keys. Then we have the keys which you cannot enter into exam room of a business data analytic without these key functions. So we have the key functions here. Number one is F4. Number two is the control G, and we have seen control plus Alt, control plus Alt plus V. We said this one is to copy or to get the special options. To get the special option, this one is to give us the special option. This one is, I will show you that F4 is used to fixed. This one is used to fixed a cell reference. This one is used to fix a cells reference. This one is used to fix assets reference. So it is also good. Just a minute. I enroll as a student who is doing PDA. Good. So we can continue. So Sharon, we are doing the introduction, which we are still doing the introduction to Excel. Our BDA need us to understand the Excel function. That's why we are doing the introduction of Excel functions, and we have started with the shortcut keys. So I was explaining this F4, which you have it in your keyboard. So if you use F4, this one we fix the reference or the cells reference. When you say a cells reference, for example, if I put my cursor here, that one is which cells reference? Who can read for me that one? So you check the column and you check the row. The row. You check the column and the row. So it is very important. For example, if I put my cursor there, that is F, that is F16. That is F16. So you might be using the formula in Excel and you are referring to another cells in another worksheet. So that's why this F4 will be important. Another use of this one is when doing the calculation. This is the net amount. This is the data for the VAT. This is the net amount. This is the net amount. And then we have the VAT here. We have the VAT. We can get the gross amount here. Now, this gross amount, I will just need to put the cursor, this plus this, and then click enter. That is the long way. You put the cursor, you click this plus this, will give you this one. That is the long way. What about if I...
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm not seeing anything happening from my end.
Let me see. Are you able to see the Excel worksheet?
Yes, I'm not able to see it.
Okay, good. So I'm saying, I was saying this is the net amount, this is the VAT. I want to get the gross amount here. So if I put the cursor here and then this plus the net plus the VAT, I will get the gross amount and then enter. That's when you use the long method. But when you use the shortcut key, when you use the shortcut keys, you only press Alt H plus equals sign, equals or equals in your keyboard. You'll be able to get the sum without using this long method. So let's try that. I will put the cursor here and then click Alt equals. The two Alt equals in your keyboard. So if I click Alt equals, I will be able to get the sum of the net amount and the VAT amount, so that I will be able to get the gross, and then click enter. Now, once you click the enter, you don't need to repeat yourself doing the same in these other columns. What you only need to do, you put your cursor here and then double click this icon here, your blue. Okay, on here, blue, you put the cursor until you get that plus with a tiny plus icon. So double click on your left of your mouse. If you double click, they will copy the data or the formula downward. It will copy the formula downward. If you don't want to use that, Control Z, we said that one is to undo. Control Z. If you don't want to use that, what you can do, let's try the Control D. Then I will press Control Shift page down to select. That one is in a select zote. Let's do Alt equals enter. Put the cursor there. Control D is not applying until you select this one. So if you select this up to that point and then Control D, it will copy the formula downward. I hope you have seen that. I've said, ukishapata moja, you only need to select and then Control D to copy the formula downward, So that is okay. So assuming this data was, you are the head accountant, and then you get this data from the junior accountant or your assistant. You want to confirm whether these values are correct. whether these values are correct, which we know VAT we charge 16%. So I'm checking the integrity of this data by using 16%. So I will put 16% here. And then I want to check here. I will say equals the net amount we multiply by the 16%, enter. So let's put the check this minus this. So that one is correct. That one is correct. Now I want to copy my formula downward here. So I will select that, Control D. And then you can we cannot able to view all this data. It is a quite long data. Why is it that we are getting a big data here? The reason is sales reference. The reason is self-reference. The reason is self-reference. Excel is referring to a wrong percentage. If you look at the first one, that one is okay because we are referring to column that is G3 and our percentage K2, which is okay. But if you go to the second option, we are referring to the G4, which is okay, the net amount. But here we are not multiplying by 7032, but we need to multiply by 16%. So you can see your Excel formula is moving from 16 to that. That one we call it relative reference. So it keep on changing. So you want our Excels to refer to 16% every time. So what do? We need to check our formula and see which one should we fixed. We should fix 16%, which is K2. So I will press F4 in your keyboard. If you press F4, you will get $2 sign. You can see we have at the beginning and in the middle. So that one shows you have fixed that reference, and then enter. We have some keyboard which we don't have, which they don't have. If you press F4, you get light or volume. So it depends with the type of keyboard you are working on or you are using. So if you press F4 and then you don't get the dollar, we have an icon in your keyboard written FN. So you press the FN plus that F4, you'll be able to get the dollar sign if you have a different keyboard. But if you have the same keyboard with me, you just need to press F4. So I will now, so we have already fixed this. So I will just need to select and then Control D. So you can see now I will be able to refer to the 16%. I'll be able to refer to the 16%. And is there any variance? Let's check. Control D. There is no any variance, so which means the data here is correct. So that's how to use F4. And then you will find also in this BDA, you will be given to do the budget. And you remember the budget? You do the model, like we predict for the next year for 5 years. So you will need to have the data here, and then you have the prediction. For example, let's see, the finance manager here is predicting the sale amount. This is the net amount. So let's see, this guy is doing a model. They want to increase the net amount by 20%, 30%, 25%. So let's copy this, Control C, go to the new worksheet, and then to paste here. Control V is to paste. Control V is to paste. This is the net amount. This is the net amount, or we can't call it sales. This is sales. Now, this finance manager is want to do the projection. You want to do the projection with 20%. You also want to do for 30% and 40%. So, and then you can select this. We say we use Alt H, B, A, that is to insert the borders. Alt H, I've said Alt, you click Alt H, B for boy, and then A to insert all the borders. Now we want to do the to paste our formulas across all these empty spaces here. So I will use now, we want to increase by 20%, 30%, and 40%. I will put the equal sign, put my formula. This, I can say in bracket, plus, open the bracket, shift, open the bracket. We have in a keyboard, you click shift, and then there is that option of opening the bracket, and then you will say this, that is in percentage plus 1. So if you do that, G3 plus 1, it's like you have increased by 20%, and then close the bracket, enter. Let's confirm whether if we increase by 10, are you seeing if there's any value? I think we will have to say this one is not plus, but multiplication. Let's multiply. Yes, let's confirm. If we increase by 20%, that will be 120%. So 120% equals this. We multiply by 120%. We multiply by 120%. Yes, we'll be able to get the same. Yeah. So you should be also know how to use this trick so that it will enable you to compute the computation very fast. So we say we put the cursor equals this times, open the bracket, the percentage, G3 plus 1, click the enter. Then so that one is the first one. So if we copy this formula across, we need to know where do we need to fix, so that if we copy that formula across, we will be referring to the original sales. We want to refer to the original sales. We don't want to refer to the 20%. So if I click Control R is a shortcut key which is used to copy the formula across. So Control R is the one which copy the formula across. But this formula I'm copying here, it is not correct because we are not referring to the original sales. So if you click here, you can see we are referring to of 30% and the 40%. So percentage is correct, but the sales value is wrong. So which means you need to fix this column so that it will not move to your formula will not move to this column, will not move to this column, or will not move to this column. It should always stay in column F. And also, if we copy this downward, Control D, if we copy this downward, our 20% should remain constant. Our 20% should remain constant. So if you look at this, our formula, so make sure after 1 minute, I'm saying this for 40 minutes will expire, so we'll join again. So this one, it is referring to that one. So we need to have the constant, like it should always stay there, and also it should always stay here. So what I will do, I will come to the first one, make the column F to be constant, but it should be constant. You don't need to use $2. If you use $2, and then it will remain constant in that position. But we need to know so that our formula can also move to 24,450. So what I will do, I will press F4, but I need $1 to start. I don't need $1. I don't need $2. I only need $1 at the starting point. So I'll still press that F4. Still press that F4. You will get the dollar at the beginning. And then that one, we are done. And then for this one, G, where there is a percentage, which is this one, I put the cursor there, press F4. We need the dollar in the middle. So you can see our dollar, it is in the middle, and then click enter. So I think now our formula is correct. Control R.